Heartless by Marissa Meyer. Chapter 50. The royal footman eyed her warily as she swept into the throne room. Even the candlesticks flickered in fear as she passed them, her head high as a swan's, and her billowing black morning gown fanned out behind her. She carried a box wrapped in red paper, and tied with a red velvet bow. The throne room was all ruby-encrusted chandeliers, pink gilt mirrors, and rose quartz pillars. There was no carpeted aisle, and each footstep echoed off the walls and up to the arched cathedral ceiling. Her attention didn't stray from the King of Hearts, who was fidgeting on his throne, his fingers twitching with every thundering clack-clack of her heels. Catherine knew how she must look in her head to toe black, including the black lace veil that partially covered her face. She had seen herself in the mirror before she left, pale as a ghost with crazed, bloodshot eyes. She didn't care. She knew the king. She knew how to get from him what she wanted. The White Rabbit's voice trembled when he introduced her. Lady Catherine Pinkerton of Rock Turtle Cove, requesting an audience with His Royal Majesty, the King of Hearts. She waited a beat, before turning to the nearest member of the court, the Queen of Diamonds, and dropping the red-wrapped package into her hands. The woman gasped, and barely caught it before the box smashed on the floor. Turning back to the king, Catherine stretched her lips as far as she could, and dipped into her finest curtsy. "Thank you for seeing me, Your Majesty." Lady Catherine. "Good D-Day," stammered the king. He scratched his ear. "We've had word of your unfortunate unw wellness. It's so good to see you. About? Your concern flatters me, Your Majesty." The king leaned forward. "And what can I do for you, Lady Pinkerton?" She stood as straight and sharp as a spade in her engulfing ebony dress. "I came to apologize. My reaction to your marriage proposal was appalling. I hope you know it was a result of temporary madness, not any disregard for your proposal. You did me a great honor when you asked for my hand, and I did not respond as a lady, too." She finished her practice speech with another upward turn of her lips. The king cleared his throat. That's not necessary, Lady Pinkerton. Of course, your apology is heartily accepted." His mouth quivered, still nervous. It was clear that he hoped Kath was done now, that she would leave. But she wasn't. "Good." Her smile fell. "With that unpleasantness behind us, I would like to officially accept your proposal." Again, the blood drained from the king's face. "Oh," he said. Is that so?" His eyes skittered towards the White Rabbit, as if the master of ceremonies might be able to respond for him. Catherine had expected this. No man, not even a silly, empty-headed man, would wish to marry a girl after she'd rejected him, humiliated him even. A girl everyone was saying had gone quite ill in the head. But the king was meek and spineless. So she waited while the king searched the faces of his courtiers and guards, looking for a way out. A way that did not include him having to reject her, for he was not the rejecting sort. His expression slipped towards helpless. "Well, that's certainly, he cleared his throat again. "You see, Lady Pinkerton, the thing is, I understand, Your Majesty. I would not have expected to earn your favor again after the way I treated you. But I also know that you are a thoughtful, good-hearted man." His cheeks reddened behind his curled beard and pointed mustache. "Well, I don't know if that's, which is why I brought you a gift. A symbol of my devotion." Her voice cracked, but she shoved the pain down. Turning to the Queen of Diamonds, she raised an eyebrow. It took a moment for the startled woman to step forward, box in hand. Catherine flicked her fingers towards the king. Flushing, the woman dragged her feet up onto the dais and deposited the gift into the king's hands, before retreating back to her spot among the courtiers. The king's face was tight with dread as he untied the ribbon and peeled the paper back. He moved as cautiously as if he had expected the present to combust in his lap. He lifted the lid. Everyone in the throne room tilted forward, all but Catherine, who watched with empty eyes. The king squeaked. "Lime. Key lime pie, Your Majesty. You told me once that key lime is the key to a king's heart after all." He licked his lips, eyes filling with hunger. Behind him, the Knave of Hearts surged upward on his toes, trying to see into the gift box with the same overflow of desire. Kath lowered her lashes. "I believe we shall get on quite well, and I shall be proud to bestow upon you many such delicacies. I have always been fond of baking, you see." Her chest quivered, but she clenched her jaw, stayed strong. She knew he was crumbling. She knew she would win. Down. "Whoa, right," said the king. "You are, He gaped at Catherine, then at the pie, licked his lips. "Many such delicacies, you say? As many as you wish." She raised her chin. "As I see no cause for delay, I suggest we set the wedding for a fortnight." His eyes widened. "A fortnight," she bobbed her head. "Your Majesty makes a most excellent point. A single week would be much preferred," he stuttered incoherently. The crowd was stirring, concerned glances passing through the courtiers and the guards. "Very well, if you insist," said Catherine. 3 days hence will be as good a time as any." She turned to a young page, the Three of Diamonds, who was hiding behind a pillar. "Note that the royal wedding between the King of Hearts and the daughter of the Marquis of Rock Turtle Cove is to be held in 3 days hence. The entire kingdom is to be invited. Does that sound all right to you, Your Majesty?" I suppose." "Wonderful. I'm so pleased." She dropped into another curtsy. The king wrapped his hand around the box containing the key to his heart and squeezed it against his middle. 3 days hence. I am honored, Lady Pinkerton." Her lips twitched, more with derision than flattery. "I do believe the honor is meant to be mine." Pivoting on her heels, she marched out of the throne room without looking back. She was glad when the aroma of sweet sour lime finally faded behind her. All during the carriage ride home, she thought of the sisters drawing Catherine upon her throne, wearing a queen's crown. She tried to recall the feeling of horror she'd had then. How adamantly she'd refused to believe it could ever come to pass. Those emotions were far out of reach. "I am the Queen of Hearts," she said to the empty carriage. Practicing. "I am the Queen of Hearts."